What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Rambling Garage. We're going to do a small little channel update before we jump into the GTA that we've got over on the little, the Jag's off the ground. I'll show you guys why it's off the ground right now here in a minute. But with the other cars out here, just wanted to give you guys an update. We're going to flip around right away to the 89 Grand Prix, the McLaren, whatever you want to call it. This thing obviously has some issues, and I've been debating what I want to do with it, but the more I think about it, the more I realize that we have a solid enough car here to at least drive and kind of, use. So I think sometime early spring, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rip all the clear coat off the bumper and the hood here, and I'm just going to respray them with some rattle can. And my thought is they're not going to look worse. And so we're going to do that, and it'll be a nice little project, and I'll get to learn to paint on a larger surface like this. The rest of the car is okay. The underbody is not the best. For that, what I think I'm going to do is get some liquid rust remover and coat it on the underbody and just see what happens. I'm curious if there's just a bunch of holes, or maybe it's a little more solid than it looks, and we can disassemble a little bit and clean it up. So we're going to maybe breathe some life back into this thing. I'm just looking now. I have no idea what this thing is leaking, but it's leaking something, so we'll have to figure that out eventually. I haven't noticed that all winter, so hopefully that's nothing too serious. But I think this thing has an opportunity to be a semi-clean car and a decent driver. The other car in here is a 66 Rambler. I'm not going to uncover it for the video, but I think I popped the freeze plug, as you guys probably saw in an earlier video, so we continue to just drain coolant. So I'm probably going to pull the heads off this thing and get a deep dive in it, check out the cam. I like to do that. You don't have to pull the heads to check the cam, but I like to check the cam and everything every couple of years. So just with the flat tappet. So this thing, as you can probably tell, exhaust is off there, and we actually took the hooker exhaust off. We got some leftover pieces there. So if we look back here, there is no exhaust now. If we look up here, I've been doing this before work, so I'm using my old floor mats to try and stay a little clean, but sorry. We look up here. Still got the factory Y pipe in there with the cat deletes. We're actually today going to spray that down a little bit so that I can remove it more easily. And we're going to replace it with a Magnaflow dual cat Y pipe. And a little wire showing there. I didn't know that. And then a Magnaflow catback. So that's going to be the way we progress with the GTA here. And that's kind of where we're going to leave off for now until I get that ordered and get that all put on there. The hooker was just a little louder than I wanted with this car being a stock car, and it was a little droney. So the Magnaflow should be a little quieter, but still have that muscle car sound. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go find some penetrating oil of sorts over there. I'm sure I have something, and I'm going to spray the bolts on this thing, and then when we get back, we'll hopefully have a catback, and we will put that on. Until then, here's a little clip with the muffler off of this thing just straight piped. It is pretty loud. You guys probably saw it in one of my shorts videos earlier, but it's pretty loud. I don't know why someone would pull the cats off one of these and run a straight pipe essentially, but enjoy. All right, we are back home. This is how my box was delivered via FedEx, so hopefully everything is okay in it. But we got the Magnaflow cat back. It's here. This is going to open it up. I forgot my tripod out at storage. And we're obviously in the garage here, a little bit of a mess. Don't judge. Let's see if we can take a look at this without making things too shaky. I thought this would be packaged a little bit more, where things would be a little separate, but here it is. Looks like we got the muffler, which is not supposed to actually be like this. It's supposed to be a different design where this goes over the rear end and there is a clamp there. So that's interesting. That makes it harder to swap out the muffler, which I'm sure they did on purpose, but we're looking to go Corsa in the future, so I'm gonna have to reach out to them because that's different than what they advertise. Outside of that, looks like everything else is here. We got our tips here. I'll have to pull those out and take a look. Let's have our numerous pipes, Mendel bent. They look nice. Everything looks pretty good. Just have all of our clamps. They have the nicer style clamps, not like the U-bolt clamps, so that's nice. But it looks like everything's in there. So we'll end up taking all this out to storage. That kind of annoys me. I thought they changed that design, but hey, maybe we'll like this. We won't want to go with Corsa, or if we do, we can always cut this and expand it so it'll fit the Corsa. So it's really not that big of a deal. Just kind of a minor nuisance. So yeah, everything looks good. I think all the pipe looks good. This is stainless. So this is stainless. I believe it's a 409. I'll correct myself if I'm wrong, not 304. So still magnetic. So this stuff will eventually rust over time, but it'll just be surface rust. It should never actually rust through. And if it does, Magnaflow has their lifetime warranty. We'll get that pulled out eventually. It's very nicely polished, just kind of like the tips. So yeah, it's here. We're gonna get it out to storage, and we'll get it put on the GTA. All right, guys, so we got everything unboxed here. There's not a whole lot of pieces to this, and depending on your Y pipe on your cars, the two on the end there maybe don't get used. Just looking at what we have, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's technically 2 pieces there, so 5, 6 is all we're going to be using. We're going to go mount this up. We're going to start with the muffler, work our way back, and we're going to see if this is going to work with my Y pipe as it is right now. So we might have to work our way then back to the muffler again, but we'll see. It's all going to depend on length and everything, and see if we have to cut the Y pipe a little bit. But they got these nice clamps, which I like. The hooker exhaust that I had didn't have this style clamps, and they just weren't, I just don't like them as much. So these tend to work a little bit better, so I'm excited to have these. These two are for the tailpipes, I believe. So yeah, we're going to start there. We're going to keep the bubble wrap on there so I can kind of manhandle it around, but we'll get that put into place and start working things forward. All right, so I only had about 20 minutes before work, but if we look under here, I got the muffler hanging. Both tips are hanging. Started getting the pipe over the axle. I don't know how well you can see it, but then took a look up here and saw that this pipe is going to go meet my Y pipe up there just fine with that extension. Sorry, that extension right there. I do need a 2 3/4 to 3-inch adapter to make that happen. So I'm going to go out and get that, but at least we got things hanging a little bit here. My my battery from my impact was dead, so I was trying to crank on these by hand and it just wasn't going well, but we can get a kind of idea, see what those are going to look like on the car here. I'm not sure I'm going to keep these yet. I might go with the dumps like the factory style, but we'll see. So I do like those tips. I think look okay. We'll see how it all looks when it's all done. So I'm going to get a clamp that goes 2 3/4 to 3-inch, and we'll come back out here, tighten all this up. Should only take another 15-20 minutes to wrap this up, and then we can hear what it sounds like. I didn't even bring my keys today. I forgot, so that's kind of disappointing. But I'm going to head off to work, and we'll be back out probably tomorrow morning. All right, guys, I got the exhaust all lined up, kind of. This tip's inside a little further than that one. Show you guys why. I put the exhaust. It's hooked up there. I don't know how well you can see. I'm having a hard time seeing, but there's a clamp there. There's just like a slip clamp, and it's too large for one pipe and just the right size for the Y pipe. So I need to find I think like a 2.5 inch to 3 inch slip joint or slip hose or pipe clamp. Sorry, I can't speak. But once I do that, this is going to get sucked in a little further, and everything will be good. So you can see I took the bubble wrap off. Everything looks good under there. I will do a little startup here for you. I already started it up just to hear it, but I recorded it, so I'm playing that after I already heard it, and we'll see what we think. So there you have it. That's the Magnaflow without cats. It's pretty quiet. A lot quieter than I thought it would be. This is a packed muffler, so it has like it's got fiberglass and stuff in it, I believe. So it will get louder over time. I'm debating if I wanna replace my Y pipe, but I don't know now if I want to do it with or without cats. Hearing how quiet that is, I kind of want to do it without. Just looking at that, I don't know how I feel about the tips yet. I do have the factory turn down style tips that I could put in there instead. I don't think they actually look bad. I like them better than the quad tips. I might just keep them, see how I like it for a little bit. But that's kind of that for this video, guys. Got the Magnaflow installed. Got a little sound clip. I do have to fix the clamp and get it all sorted out. I do have a little exhaust leak as a result of that. But I'm gonna do some straightening out, and at least now I can drive this if I need to. I can move it pretty easily, so it is what it is. But I do like those tips. The more I look at it, the more they're kind of growing on me. But we'll see. They look good. I like how it just says Magnaflow at the top there. Yeah, I think they look good. One thing I will say, there's not a whole lot of customizations that you can do to this in terms of pulling these out further. They kind of are what they are just because they are welded. But I think they look good. That left one will get tucked in a little further. I think it'll look better. And if I don't like it, I'll pull them off and put the factory turn down style, or the factory style turn down on. And I can just switch back and forth. Whatever. Since we're here, I was looking over here. This Grand Prix's been sitting here all winter, and I looked under it the other day. That pile wasn't that big the other day, but it is today. I didn't know what it was at first. I just stuck my finger in it, and it's a bunch of oil. So something happened, but we'll get that figured out. I'm going to take care of all this eventually. But there we go. Magnaflow on the 3rd Gen GTA. I think it looks good. It sounds pretty decent. I'm hoping to hear it get a little bit louder. But yeah, we'll see. Time will tell. Videos on this thing coming very soon. The weather's getting nice out, as you can see out there. So we're going to jump right into it. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video.